Welcome, guys, to another episode of Invictus Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Yannick Lunga. Appreciate it.
As always.
As always. And we got two special guests here today. I have Travis with me. Travis, how you doing?
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'm doing good.
It. And then we also have Mitch Wiesner here. Mitch, appreciate you coming
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. This is really cool.
Yeah, no, this is going to be awesome. I'm excited to have you two. Mitch, I know you pretty well. You've been playing basketball for some years now, and then I'm finally understood that you had a son maybe 3 years ago, so I had no idea. And I found out that he was hooping here, so I was like, "Oh, what up, Mitch?"
Yeah, that's why I chose here, man.
That's awesome.
I knew you from hoops, and I didn't want to go anywhere else, so I followed you, and I will follow you.
Let's go
wherever
Mitch.
we go.
Let's go. And then Travis, I got to know you about last year. I think last year, I took over your son's team,
Yep.
Jonas's team. He was a sixth grader last year.
Yep.
Took it over, and we kind of got a good little connection because you wanted Jonas in the gym. So our first topic was, my first question to you guys is, how much time do you guys spend in the gym with your kids, and kind of how do you get them motivated to get in the gym and work on, obviously, things they need to work on as a seventh grader and a eighth grader?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, I work, self-employed, so I'm able to kind of spend a little bit more time that normally, within an average person could. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I try to get in the gym as much as I can with Vance.
Yeah.
And just empower him to figure out times to get in there as much as he can, doing whether that be one-on-ones with coaching or practices or skills or whatever, and give him as many opportunities. Obviously, not pushing him, pressuring him, but just being there as much as I can.
Gotcha.
I love watching him.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
And just being there is like my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think as much of that as I can.
Yeah.
That was my mindset, and that's been my mindset.
Yeah. Because I've seen Vance. He's improving a lot right now. From what I saw from last year to this year, that man has improved in every aspect of his game. Even his body's changing, and he looks great out there. He looks great. So whatever you're doing, Mitch, keep doing it, man.
He luckily he's done it all on his own. He's been intrinsically motivated to get here.
Love it.
He's doing stuff at home too. Doing push-ups, sit-ups, running, being active, playing. So it's not much that I've done.
Yeah, Travis.
Sounds a lot like our story.
Yeah.
Self-employed, so I have the luxury, which I realize a lot of people do not.
Yeah.
Jonas spent his first year in academy and won a bunch, but couldn't play for a lick. I mean, he was all the effort in the world, but no skills. His next year, he started out with a different coach. They were losing, and he got tired of losing. He just got sick of it. And so we had a conversation like, well, there's a couple ways to change that. You can quit, or you can go get better and either help your team win or find yourself onto a better club or whatever it might be. So that was where he was like, oh, I'm not going to get where I want to go Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah. No. Practice time.
So he understood that the extra work was the only thing that was going to get him to where he wanted to go. And he's a checklist kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to finish his day and say, what did I accomplish today? And check all the boxes.
Love it.
He wakes up and he's just like, this is what I have in my day. And he loves to make the checklist at the beginning of the day and then reflect back and feel like he accomplished his goals. So he does that really well short term. So it's mostly from him.
Yeah.
It definitely takes, you see him wake up in the morning and sit in front of the couch. And I feel like there's a balance of making him go to the gym and manipulating him so he thinks he wants to go to the gym. Not really, but kind of. I mean, hey, what are your plans today?
Yeah.
What are you doing for basketball? They at least make him think about it.
Think about it.
I've never told him he has to do anything.
Gotcha.
But I always make him think about it. And then he has to live with the consequences.
Yeah.
And then most of it's just him. So, during the off days, I go to the rec center with them or out in the driveway or whatever, and I just say, I'm here to rebound for you. And at first, we'd work on stuff I thought he needed to work on, and then after that, turned it over to him. Yeah. You tell me, what do you see, or what are you and Marcus working on, and look back at videos and stuff like that, and he just started repping it out.
Yeah, I think from your two kids, Vance and Jonas, I've seen from last year to this year, crazy improvement from both of you. That is kind of why I wanted you guys on this episode, because it's obviously we want it to be educational for these parents to understand it's not just practice, and then that's it.
No.
Right? It's not going to be a Monday, Wednesday, let's go see results. That's not how it works, right? Us coaches, we're not here to Monday, Wednesday to see a huge jump like that. We're here to help these kids understand what they need to work on, and then they got to go work on it and then apply it to what we're teaching them. So
yeah, I think in your very first meeting, it was like, hey, parents, just so you know, we're here to do this Monday, Wednesday thing, or Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is. But if you want your kids to get better, it will be required. And I don't think most kids hear that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love it, you know.
Yep.
But once it dawns on him, and then once he can reflect and be like, oh, man, when Marcus took over, it was a year ago, almost exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he was straight line dribble. That was it. Don't get in my way. Don't make me change directions.
I'm going straight downhill.
Yeah, don't make me change hands. Yeah.
One way only.
And so it was all, you know, what does he learn on those days? But then what does he do with it the other 5 days of the week?
That's it. That's it. Exactly. How do you learn on a Monday, Tuesday? And then what can I do on those off days that coach just taught us, right? What can we do as a player? So, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, for sure. I got a question. It's pretty much, you guys work out with your kids. You guys see the progress that they put into it. When it comes time for a game, and maybe they're not putting all that stuff together and it's not going their way, how do you deal with those post-game conversations? If, let's say, their emotions or their mindset is just not in the right place afterward. Because, you know, you put in a lot of work, and when you don't see that results, it can get to you. So how do you guys deal with that?
I'll go, because that's been a big shift for me. You know, I think preteen with Vance, I was more of a coach to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you could have done better here. This is what you did well, and kind of like played both sides, like critiquing and like validating and affirmations. But when he became a teen, man, I shifted that. I got pushback.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this kid doesn't want my help at all. He's probably like sick of my coaching.
Yeah.
You know, I come from, you know, being a player and a coach too. Like, I know the game. Like, I played with you, Marcus.
Oh, Mitch is so tough. If anyone
he's good.
This man is so tough. I'm telling you, he is so tough. One of the toughest white dudes out here. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I even said it at his birthday bash. I sent a video.
He did.
My man can hoop.
So I'm tempted to just get in there and get inside his head and help him, mentor him and coach him, analyze and critique him. But, you know, I think what I've learned is, as a teen, for him, he just wants me to just be there as like a soft landing spot, safe to like have that unconditional love, and just welcome him with like, hey man, you did a good job. You crushed out there. You worked hard. Like, talk about the things that weren't attached to an outcome, because that outcome, like you said, man, it's like win or bust, and they're mad, they're emotional, and so detaching from the outcome in those conversations, those post-game combos, with just like, man, you worked hard, you did everything you could, crushed it, and just confidence building rather than focus on some sort of outcome.
That's a big thing. Confidence for young kids is key in my eyes.
They're already hard on themselves. And they're already getting coached from so many different angles. The last thing they need is another coach in their life. I feel like I've had to shift that from coach to more of just loving parent.
Yeah.
100%.
I do not come from a basketball background. We are junior jazz champions in 7th grade.
Boom.
But I did not play organized basketball. I played a lot just with my friends, just on the playgrounds, like a lot. But I never played organized basketball, so I can't coach him. So I leave that to you, or whoever his coaches might be. And I go, when he's done playing games, I'll approach whoever might, you know, if you have guys filling in for you, or if he's subbing on a different league, and I'll go talk to those coaches and ask them what they see and what they need out of him. And Yeah, I live and die during the games. It's so rough on me. Like, way rougher on me than him, for sure. I guarantee he misses a shot and isn't thinking much about it. I've almost gotten tossed out of a couple games, but
He's stressing over there.
yeah, games are done, and I just ask him, what do you think you did well? What do you think you did poorly? What do you want to work on this week? And then he'll let him have conversations with those who can coach him, who do know the game.
Yeah.
I know what I watch, and I absorb as much as possible, but that's up to you guys.
Yeah. I think as a coach aspect, I think the biggest thing as a coach that I appreciate is when a parent or even a player, I'd rather have a player come talk to me. But if it's a parent, that's okay. But I'd rather have the player come talk to me and ask, Coach, what can I do to get more playing time? Coach, what can I do to help this team win? What can I do to put us in a better position to succeed what you want us to do? So I think as young players, it's okay to ask questions to your coach, man. If you don't know a play, ask your coach, what can I do on this play to make it work? Because it seems like it's my part that's not making it work. Or what can I do on the defensive end to help this team? So I think as a player, you got to ask questions, man. I think it's a huge thing.
Yeah, and it's important to just build that habit early. Once you get to high school, those coaches don't really want to hear from the parents. They want to hear from the young men,
100%.
the young women. So it's good to just form that habit early and get them comfortable.
100%.
And I feel like we do a good job of that on our own, just talking to the kids.
Yep.
And then for us, I think it's always important when parents give us the room to coach. And then especially when they just ask us, try to get on the same page of what we're trying to see from those kids. That way we know we're not coaching them from two different angles.
Yeah.
We want to see the same thing. And then I think it's important for parents to ask too. Like, let the kids ask, but that way you get an understanding for what your coach sees and what outcome he's trying to create. Because it might be a different vision than what you think it is.
100%.
And it's easier to get on that same page early
100%.
than to just keep that miscommunication and just let it kind of drag on. We've seen a lot of bad situations.
So any suggestions from you guys? Like I always tell Jonas, go talk to Marcus about it. Like that's what he wants from you. Not only is it okay,
it's recommended.
He wants you to do it. But I know he sometimes is kind of quiet. He's kind of one-word answer sort of kid.
Yeah.
What can we do as parents to encourage that, or is it? I mean, is there something you see that we can do to have them go out of their shell and step out of themselves a little bit, approach this adult?
Yeah.
Who's like,
it's rough.
You might as well be NBA players to these guys. That's how they look at you, you know?
Right.
So it's going to be intimidating for them sometimes.
It's definitely intimidating. I was one of those kids that didn't want to ask. And when my mom did push me, I hated it. So it's rough because you definitely want to put them in situations where you let them know this is what's expected and this is what they want. It's trying to convince them to do it on their own. That's the hard part. And eventually I got there just because doing it my way was not working at all. It was like, and eventually my mom would talk to them, and eventually coach just told me straight up, it's like, you need to come talk to me. If you have a problem with what's going on, you come say something. Don't send your mom. And I was embarrassed, but from that, I learned, and I started asking the questions, and I got a lot better from that. So I'd say it's more on us to step in and just like, if we see that kid that's shy and doesn't want to talk to you, kind of approaching him and getting him comfortable.
Yeah, it really starts with the coach, I think, approaching the kid. And like, hey, bro, it's okay to talk to us. Like, we're here to help you. After every game, if you want to know why you didn't play or why you didn't get the ball or the opportunities you wanted weren't there, come talk to me and I will tell you straight to your face, like, what you got to do. And that is our job. That's exactly why you guys are paying the program, is to have us help your guys as kids. So
we're supposed to be paying for this?
Right?
It's free.
You're not on scholarship?
Shoot.
We're not on scholarship here.
And then for me, I think my biggest thing was failure. Like once I started seeing some failure in my game, not seeing enough minutes or not getting the ball enough, I would want to know personally, like, yo, what's going on? So I would personally, in my mind, be like, yo, I might have to go talk to my coach and see what's going on. What is he seeing that he does not like from me right now? So with failing, like Jonas is going to play a lot on my team. Good ball handler. Vance is going to play a lot, right? But as you get older in the higher level of the competition, they will start getting their minutes restricted. Even like high school, it'll drop a lot because you got to be top 5 to get in the starting lineup. To get in a game, you might have to be top 9. To make the team, you got to be top 15 to make the. So it gets lower and lower. So once they see something drop, they will put in their mind like, hey, got to see what's going on. What do I got to go do? So it'll come. It'll come. And then, like we said, it starts with us as coaches going up to him and letting them know it's okay to talk to us. My other question for you guys, Jonas started at Academy Elite level. For anyone that doesn't know, Academy Elite level last year for us was they would play in the Bantam League and they would also play in our developmental league here at our HQ. And then Vance played for a club team.
Yeah.
So he was just playing normal
club.
Yep. So Travis, I want to throw this to you first. As a parent that wants to see your son be successful, obviously, like you said previously in the episode, that there was some times of struggle. What did you talk to Jonas about trying to fight through that really? And then how as a parent, what was your patience like? Because obviously you got to be patient to see success, right? So from Academy Elite to now that he's on our black team, our seventh black team, and we're in Division 3. What was it like going through different divisions as a parent?
I just tell him, you dream,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll help you get there.
Yeah.
You know, his dream is the NBA. You
Yep.
know, and so I'll just do what I can to help him get there. I encourage lots of PTs with you because that's where he's going to get the coaching. I can just get him like into the gym and get him rebounding and just constantly talk about work ethic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the thing with me is I just drill work ethic. Wherever it is you're going to get to, I don't care how talented you are, you're not getting there without work ethic. And if you're not very talented, then you're really not going to get there without
100%.
work ethic.
With work ethic, I think consistency comes with it also. I think anything in life comes with consistency. If you want to be great at something, you got to be consistent.
100%. Yeah, I can't give it the effort for 2 weeks and then die off.
And then,
you know?
Oh, I'm good now.
And it's only for him, honestly, it's like he was putting in, the 2 days with you guys, and then his off days, at first he was doing an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, you can do more than an hour.
Yeah.
So he started doing 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now it's fall break, and he packs a lunch, and he goes to the rec center in the morning. He invites his team. Whoever shows up, shows up.
Maybe showing up too.
And
That's cool.
He takes a break for lunch and keeps going. He understands that, like, oh, I can do this all day long.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah.
So, and for us to go through like the different levels, for him, it was, I'm tired of losing. I see my goal. I want to get to that club team. He'd look at the where they were, the black and red teams or whatever they were on the other side of Sports City.
Yep.
And he would watch those guys, and he said, that's where I want to get to go. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
So that was his goal. And like I said at the beginning, he's a checklist kid.
Yeah.
So checklist one, he's got something done on his checklist, and now he's got other stuff. So
I love it. Mitch, obviously Vance was 13 last year. Now he's on the top team this year.
Yep.
How was it? I know there were some times.
Oh, yeah.
Times.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like reality, like a game.
Yeah.
To have him, see that gap of where he thinks he is and how he doesn't practice versus like real-time game time minutes.
Yeah.
He was a totally different player out there. I'm like, dude, you just like decide to not know how to play basketball? Like, what do you, like all of a sudden? And, you get that experience. I think the time will tell, and that game time will tell that there is a gap there where, you're just constantly, he'll recognize that he needs to close that gap, with time. Like you said, Travis, like being in the gym and getting practice in. So he was committed this last summer, like big time, to put in big training time.
I saw him up early with Dwayne sometimes.
Yeah, like 5:30 a.m.
Like
HQ
with Dwayne.
Yeah, and Dwayne, I'm like, Dwayne, it's dark here, man. I don't know what you're doing. And I'm a half asleep showing up. I barely made it here. Yeah. So he was committed, and I tell Vance, hey, I'll take you to the gym anytime you want.
Yeah.
And I got my wife on board with that too, which is, that's huge to have help and support all around him, not just come from the dad,
not
but
just you, but the family.
Yeah, if you could have everybody support that, like this is the goal, this is what we're aiming for. We want to get Vance in as much as he can, get Jonas in as much as he can, and then we, like you said, like we turn into Uber drivers. But I mean, there's worse things in life.
100% worse things in life than driving your son to the gym.
Yep.
Having Jonas play up, he went and played a tournament with I think, one of your
Mhm.
top teams,
Mm-hmm.
and played one with
Played with my travel. He
Ethan's,
played with my travel team at Jam on it.
and his eyes were like, "Whoa!"
We were getting pressed the whole game.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
getting
So
lit,
last year
getting lit up.
he was D4.
Oh,
Jonas
okay.
was D4, and then I invited Jonas. So like, hey, you want to play on my travel team for the Jam on it tournament? We're playing Salt Lake Legends. We're getting pressed the whole freaking game, and Jonas is just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Eye opening.
He's
Yeah,
on the
it
bench. I
was.
put him on the bench first, so I could I'm looking at him like, you ready? He's like, yeah.
You nervous?
Just watching
Like
these
nervous?
guys
Oh,
get
nervous.
pressed and getting rushed at with two people. Ah. I was like, oh yeah.
But that was huge to see the gap, like you talked
Yeah.
about, but also to see their practice habits.
Yep.
Like they warm up differently than,
Yeah, 100%. That's what you said. I remember you told
and
me
that was big for him.
That
Like,
was
oh, there's a different
huge.
way to do this.
Yeah.
There's a better way to do this. And that was big for him.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with levels is intensity. I think it's intensity and then just urgency of wanting to work, right? So like my travel team last year, they were some dogs. The reason why I think they were so successful in basketball was really just because they wanted it. It's really just want. Do I want to sit down in the stands? Do I want to go box them up? Do I want to go rebound? Do I want to be vocal? It's really just want. And then once you have that want, the rest will come. The rest will come. It's really just that mindset of we got to get these 8 dudes to all want it. If we can buy in, we can compete with anybody.
Yeah, I tell Vance, this is, I think, a mindset switch to him, but pre-summer he wasn't that good. He was D3. He was struggling. I don't think they won a game.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite quotes, but you're gonna feel pain either from the pain of failure or the pain of discipline. But like, which one do you want? Which one's gonna be that most rewarding pain type of pain?
I like that
because it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have a hard time in both boats. So do you want to have a hard time where you're just sitting on the bench all the time, not getting or failing out there, or do you want to have a hard time where you're working at it, discipline and effort towards a certain process that's gonna suck?
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
But you're gonna see results, and that's that good feeling.
And that's a better one. I'd rather go on that side than the other side. Right? I'd rather fail, but try, than fail and just not try.
Yeah.
I'd rather fail and stand back up and take 8 more hits and keep going.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Any others? Anything else?
I guess my question a little bit for you, because you talked about that want.
Yeah.
What do you do when you have so many kids that have this talent? You see that raw talent, but the want isn't there. We have so many teams that struggle with stuff like boxing out,
100%.
getting back on defense, sliding their feet, little stuff that is just effort. Because I know a quote that I quote all the time is, you can't coach effort.
No.
It just comes
I
from
saw
the
that
side.
on your Instagram.
Yeah,
actually.
it's like I'm dealing with situations where I have kids that I feel are very good, and I'm just not getting the effort that they need. Yeah, the want.
This is the tough thing about it. If obviously it's your travel team, right? They're gonna find out. They're really just gonna find out. Like what we said with my dad. Like we found out that we didn't have enough want when we went to Vegas. These dudes in California and Vegas, they want it, man. They want to kill you guys. They want to beat you guys. They want to take your scholarships. It's legitimately just gonna have to happen when the kids realize, like, if we're gonna have a fun time in California and Florida and Memphis, wherever we go, we're gonna have to want something, fellas. We can't just show up and expect to win a game. It's not gonna work. So I really think it's just gonna be when it hits them. I don't think some kids are built with want. Some kids are built with, I want to do this, I want that. But some kids aren't. You can't really just throw that into them. You can't just nail it into their brain. It's them having to figure it out themselves. So it's a little weird. It's a little tough. It's a tough situation, but it comes with them seeing it. So
yeah, I think it's part of the culture that you guys have built here too. Invictus is a culture that you guys have really worked hard on, and these kids, at least with Vance, he looks forward to practice and skills, even though it's hard.
Yep.
Because he's seeing the results, and so you guys culturally driven by results, by the process.
Yeah.
And I think if that culture is felt by all the people, all the kids, you know, that will elevate the entire effort
100%.
baseline.
100%.
There's a baseline that, you know, you kind of see culturally that's like of effort.
Yep.
If everyone feels that same baseline rise, everyone will kind of rise with it. It's like, you know, when the
100%.
tides rise, all boats go up with
Yep.
it. So I think if you can drive that kind of effort culture here, everyone's gonna start to
rise
buy
with
in.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
So
100%.
it's tough to do though sometimes.
It's tough. It's
It's a constant grind.
Grind.
Culture.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just confidence too, you know.
Yep.
That we've been getting our butts kicked a lot this year.
Yep.
But that last game they played, and it was a really good team. A team that they'd previously beat them like 27-54.
Yeah.
So they got they got beat bad.
Yep.
And they won that game. You know, we talked after, and you said, you know, you saw every kid play to their potential.
Yep.
And it was really mostly effort.
It was
Right.
It was effort.
So on every player's part. So maybe now they can go, that's what
That's
I have
what
to do. And that wasn't actually that big of a deal
Yeah.
to move my feet.
Oh, that's what
box
happens
out.
when we
That felt really
we
good,
put
actually.
effort. Yeah.
So to be determined, because that was our last game of this
Yep.
first part
We're
of
gonna
the
see if
season.
it rides.
Let's see what happens.
We're gonna see if it rides. But that's it. Like they saw when 08 won it, they saw what they could beat. They saw if we could beat the team that beat us by 30, we can beat them by 15.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really just them seeing it.
So that's a click. Something has to click.
Some will. Well, I got no other questions. Neat.
Yeah.
Mitch, Travis, we appreciate it. Thank you guys for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Bye.
And we're out of here, fellas.